If you want to support the channel, go check out my Patreon. There's rewards like end of video shoutouts and even featuring in a video. More rewards will be added and I'd love to hear from you guys to know what I should add. For more information, go to patreon.com/Maqwell. FIFA 21 is coming, and what better way for me to milk the views than to make a video like this. So here's some teams you should use in FIFA 21 career mode. So let's begin with Leeds United. On second thought, that, because why would I suggest you a club that gets constantly abused every single year by all the career mode content creators? I mean, hell, I hope you're ready for FIFA 21 when all you'll be seeing are Leeds career modes now that they're in the Premier League. God save us all. But anyways, here's some clubs that I believe should be getting more attention. Birmingham City. Over the years, you hear about these poorly run English clubs. Blackpool, Charlton, Blackburn Rovers, Hull City, Bury, Wigan, the list goes on. But one club that I feel doesn't get talked about as much is Birmingham City. The club can be perfectly described as a real-life football manager experiment, referring to the 1875 supporters group's description of their club's directors, calling them football manager wannabes. So just by that impression, you can already assume this club is a complete mess. We're gonna mainly focus on Birmingham City's CEO, Juan Ren. According to The Athletic, a former player described Ren as a non-footballing man who knows nothing about football. Ren has been described as aggressive and scary, creating an immensely toxic environment around him. Seems like a nice guy, to be honest. The club has managed to go through 6 managers since 2015 and was docked 9 points by the EFL for breaches of profitability and sustainability, reporting a €48 million loss over 3 years. The club is continuously dangling from the depths of relegation, and now it's time for you to help. A great way to start off your career is to focus more on the youth programs, because that seems to be the new aim for the club. Examples being Shea Adams from Southampton, and the most expensive 17-year-old at the moment is Jude Bellingham. You can even keep the club tradition of retiring. Can you take Birmingham back to the Premier League and farther? Toby Alderweireld, Sadio Mane, Virgil van Dijk, and the best of them all, you know what? I'm better than this. I will not make a Lovren joke in the year 2020. Back in October of 2019, Southampton lost 9-0 at home against professional bottlers, Leicester City. After the match, players and staff refused wages from the match and instead donated the money to the Saints Foundation. At that point, everyone thought Southampton was a lost cause. But for whatever reason, they managed to revive their terrible season. By some damn miracle, Southampton had a massive resurgence in performance and flew out of the relegation zone, landing in 11th at the end of the season. A lot of that can be credited to Danny Ings, who scored 22 goals in the league, just barely missing out on the Golden Boot. With the departure of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, there is a bit of a hole to be filled, although there have been rumors of Weston McKennie possibly joining the Saints. On top of that, Southampton brought in 21-year-old Mohamed Salisu from Real Valladolid. It's your turn to continue this momentum Southampton has built up. How far can you go? And don't be afraid if you can't continue the momentum. I'll only look at you as a complete failure. Rennes. Say hello to one of the French clubs that will be in next season's Champions League. This is in fact the first time Rennes have qualified for the Champions League. Just last year, they rallied back against PSG in the Coupe de France and won 6-5 on penalties. That would be their 3rd Coupe de France in the club's long history. To rub more salt into Qatar's oil money wound, they'd beat them again 2-1 in a league match at home. This would also give way to a 16-year-old player's true talent. This player, Eduardo Camavinga. An average age of 23 makes this a team to look at for a fun career mode. Can you take over this club and make them the biggest in France? Inter Milan. Yes, I realize. 2 Serie A clubs now don't have any licensing in FIFA 21, but that will not stop my love for Italian career modes. Anyways, before the dominance of Juventus was the dominance of Inter Milan. From 2005 to 2010, Inter won 5 consecutive Scudettos. 2010 was their best year when they won a treble under the helm of Jose Mourinho. Soon the inevitable would happen though. Much like their rivals AC Milan, key players departed or retired and Inter never found proper replacements, thus beginning the downfall of the club. Since 2011, their highest league finish was 4th and their worst was 9th. They have not won the Coppa Italia since 2011 and have not gone farther than the quarterfinals in the Champions League since their treble-winning season in 2010. This season has shown a lot of promise for Inter though, as they have finished 2nd in the Serie A, their best finish in 9 years, and also the dynamic duo of Lautaro Martinez and Romelu Lukaku created 37 goals. And during January, Inter managed to sign Christian Eriksen and just recently picked up Achraf Hakimi. There have also been rumors about Sandro Tonali joining as well. Do not count out the young talent though, players like Sebastiano Esposito and Alessandro Bastoni. Can you bring Inter back to the glorious days of the 2000s era and even win another treble to cement your name in not only the club's history, but the world's? Torino. Let us throw it way back to the 1940s. Grande Torino. Before there was Inter Milan and Juventus, there was Torino. This was a dynasty in the making. From 1942 to 1949, Torino had 5 consecutive Scudettos. They were the best in Italy and probably the entire world. But on May 4th, 1949, tragedy would strike in the worst way possible. After a friendly against Benfica, Torino were to fly home, and unfortunately, they never made it back. Not a single person on the plane survived. 31 people gone like that. It hasn't been awful for Torino since. They even won another Scudetto in 1976, but they have not been the same since the Grande Torino days. It's now time to rebuild Torino. Find exceptional Italian youngsters to build the ultimate dynasty. You can even challenge yourself to beat the single season points record held by Juventus with 102. Augsburg. I won't even lie when I say this was just a club thrown into the list because, why not? Since promoting to the Bundesliga for the first time in 2011, their average finish has been 12th. In the 14-15 season, they managed to finish 5th. Their highest ever in the Bundesliga, but since then they've fallen off. In the last 2 seasons they have finished 15th. They recently bought 22-year-old defender Felix Udokai from Wolfsburg for 7 million, and another young defender, Kevin Danso, is back from his Southampton loan. Augsburg have never won a major domestic trophy in their club's 113-year history. Can you change that? Castellon. Fun fact, I wrote a whole section about Deportivo La Coruña before realizing when I was done, they had relegated to the 3rd division. Kill me. Anyways, Castellon are a club based in Castello, a city with a population of 170,000. After spending 7 seasons in the Tercera División, the 4th division of Spanish football, they were promoted to the 3rd division, Segunda División B. 2 years later, on July 26, 2020, Castellon beat Cornellà in the promotion playoff final. This will be the first season back in the Segunda División in 10 years for the club. Can you take Castellon just that further and get them to the 1st division of Spanish football for the first time in 30 years? So those are some clubs that you should do a career mode save with. I'll probably do another one of these videos to milk even more from FIFA 21. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless. Be sure to follow my Twitter, my Twitch, and my Instagram. My last video actually has almost 100 likes, so if we can get this one to 100, that would be fantastic. Alright, bye.